All right, guys, so we just went over the headlock. Now we're going to get into something that's kind of similar, but like a head and arm. And as I mentioned in the sag headlock, not one that I hit very often. This head and arm is probably one that, again, I'm not a big throw guy. If you've ever watched me compete, I wish I was. It's a lot more exciting to watch. But this head and arm is one that I felt a lot more comfortable doing competitively. It just, I don't know, I feel like it opened itself up a little bit more. And it's going to come off of our same side collar tie that we've been using previously, so our dominant side, for me, my right hand. This works well if my opponent collar ties me as well. So we both have this collar tie. Sometimes you get in here and it's like both guys are just, like, there's just nothing happening. So what I started to do is I'm going to take, it was actually later in my career I started doing this. I'm going to take my free hand, instead of just doing the exact same thing Tony's doing here, and we both have outside control and collar tie where we're exactly 50-50. Instead, I'm going to dig an underhook with my opposite side of my collar tie, and I'm going to lock my hands here. All right? And for this, I like to lock my hands like this. I don't know that there's any benefit to using any other grip, but for me, this just seems to work best. So I'm taking my collar tie and turning it into a lock here, where I have this head and arm trap. Now, as I have this, I still want to keep my elbow pointed down, just like we talked about from the very beginning. When I have my collar tie, my elbow still should be in good position here. If my elbow starts to slip, one, I'm kind of losing the power of this hold, but this just isn't good here. Right? I never want my elbow to start coming up over his shoulder. Instead, keeping it down, keeping this cinch nice and tight, and it does keep this tighter. So as I have this, I'm going to pull his head. So as soon as I get my hands locked, I'm going to actually pull his head in tight. All right, so it's right on like actual side of my shoulder. I'm trying to keep everything as tight as possible here. And the reason for that is if it's loose and I try to throw, his arm's gonna slip out. I'm not gonna get anything. So I wanna make sure I'm keeping everything nice and tight here. All right, now for this throw, similarly to our headlock, but it's kind of on the opposite side, I need to step my hips all the way through. And the further I can get my hips across, the better. Because I'm going to use my hips kind of as like the pivot point to throw his body over. And then we're going to end up with him on his back. So keeping this grip the whole time though, right? I'm keeping everything nice and tight. And as I step, so we're doing like a little back step again, I can't throw from here. If I try to throw from here, I'm not going to get it. Can't throw from here either. I need to turn my hips. So stepping in, and it's kind of hard to do this as I'm explaining, but stepping in all the way across. Oh, sorry.